My name is Jolyn Holland.
I'm Layla Yakima.
I'm Talia Mazzotta.
And I'm Erin Gobley.
And today we're going to be discussing King Lear and Othello.
The British King Lear is ready to retire. He shares corresponding amounts of his power with how much love each of his daughters holds for him. Cordelia, his favorite, displeases him and marries the French king.
Her sisters Goneril and Regan overthrow Lear.
At the same time, a man named Edmund sabotages his brother with a forged note and self-inflicted stab wound. He tells his father, the Earl of Gloucester.
Lear, casted out of his kingdom, is invited to stay with Gloucester and Dover.
Edmund tells Cornwall, Regan's husband, that Gloucester and Lear are working together.
And that Gloucester hid Cordelia and the French military were planning to attack.
Edmund becomes the new Earl of Gloucester.
Cornwall eventually makes Gloucester blind, but a servant sees and kills Cornwall.
Gloucester, roaming blindly in the country, asks for Edmund to help him end his life.
He soon finds Edgar, who tells Gloucester he survived a miracle of a massive fall. This brings him passion to live.
Gloucester returns home to find Lear now fully insane because of his daughter's betrayal.
Edmund falls in love with a widowed Regan and Goneril, whose husband sided with Lear.
Goneril mails Edmund that she will kill her husband to be with him.
Edgar intercepts this letter and immediately tells Albany, Goneril's husband.
The British army defeats the French, and Cordelia as queen and Lear are captured.
Lear doesn't recognize his daughter because of his insanity.
Regan announces she will marry Edmund, but Albany tells her that he said he was going to marry Goneril.
Goneril poisons Regan.
Albany challenges Edmund to a duel when suddenly someone fatally stabs Edmund before revealing his identity to be Edgar.
Edgar says Gloucester died of a broken heart when learning that Edgar was still alive.
Goneril kills herself.
Lear finds Cordelia dead with no explanation.
Albany announces that Edmund and Goneril hanged Cordelia and framed it as suicide. He also crowns Lear as king, who rejects it.
Edgar is the ruler of Britain.
An ensign named Iago says he'll help Rodrigo be with Desdemona, who eloped with General Othello very suddenly.
They tell Brabazio, Desdemona's father, and he is very angry. He accuses Othello of bewitching her.
Othello convinces Venetian senators he didn't use witchcraft and they bonded naturally.
Amelia, Iago's wife, a lieutenant named Cassio, Othello, Iago, and Desdemona leave from Venice to Cyprus.
Iago tells Rodrigo to fight drunk Cassio. When they start fighting, Othello steps in and takes away Cassio's lieutenant rank.
Get out of here!
Iago convinces Cassio to talk to Desdemona to get her husband to raise his rank again.
Othello sees Cassio leave his house and gets suspicious of him and Desdemona. Meanwhile, Iago starts rumors that they are having an affair.
While Desdemona is gardening, she drops a handkerchief Othello gave her. Amelia finds it when Iago tells her he will return it.
Iago plants the handkerchief in Cassio's room.
Othello watches Cassio give the handkerchief to a prostitute named Bianca.
Othello promotes Iago and orders for him to kill Cassio. He also decides to kill Desdemona.
Iago tells Rodrigo to kill Cassio and to keep Othello and Desdemona in Cyprus.
Rodrigo is injured trying to kill Cassio and Iago kills him to keep him quiet.
Othello hears Desdemona mention Cassio's name to a nobleman and slaps her.
Amelia realizes Iago is manipulating Othello. Iago convinces her he is not.
Othello suffocates Desdemona with a pillow, but Amelia walks in and reports it to the police.
Othello tries to justify his actions by explaining the handkerchief and his proof of Desdemona's infidelity. Amelia realizes what Iago had done with the handkerchief.
Iago kills Amelia because she knows what he has done. Othello stabs Iago, but not fatally, because he wants him to suffer.
Othello kills himself, and Iago took a vow of silence.
Cassio becomes Othello's successor and punishes Iago.
And now we will be discussing the two tragedies in light of Aristotelian guidelines.
The first Aristotelian guideline we'll talk about is Hamartia. Hamartia is the tragic flaw that leads to the hero's downfall. Hamartia is a similarity between the two stories. In King Lear, his Hamartia is his pride and his trusting attitude for his daughters. This eventually leads to him losing Cordelia and getting betrayed by Goneril and Regan. Othello's Hamartia is his jealousy and believing in Iago's dishonesty. Both tragedies' title characters experience Hamartia.
The next guideline we're going to be talking about is peripeteia. Peripeteia is the reversal of fortune. Both tragedies experience this in very different ways, making it their contrast. In King Lear, he goes from being rich and powerful to being poor and powerless. In Othello, he starts as a noble general and becomes a murderer who lost the woman he loved.
Anagnorisis is the moment of realization that a character has where they realize what is truly going on. Both stories involve a moment of anagnorisis that are very similar. In King Lear, he realizes the true nature of his older daughters and what he has done giving them his power. In Othello, he realizes Desdemona was innocent after killing her. He is so sad that he chooses to end his life.
Catharsis is the use of strong feelings in literature to engage the reader in a type of emotional purification. This is what leaves the audience feeling purged of those emotions by the end of the performance. In King Lear, viewers are sympathetic of Lear's suffering by the loss of his daughter. This is similar to the audience's experience of empathy in Othello by Desdemona's suffering as a result of his own loss of love.
The last guideline we will talk about is unity of time and place. In King Lear, multiple times and multiple locations are used, but they all connect to help the story flow. In Othello, a shorter time period is used, but much of the story takes place in Cyprus. Unity of time and place is a similarity between the two stories, even though they are very different.
While both King Lear and Othello succeed as tragedies and align with many Aristotelian principles, Othello adheres more closely to classical guidelines, particularly regarding unity of time and place.
Thanks for watching!